so if you would please take out your pronoun review for 3.1 through 3.6 and 54 and 55. We will correct that and review if you have any questions. The test is tomorrow. Test on pronouns is tomorrow.
Is it like another 70 question one?
Probably close to that.
Wait, so it'll only be through the past 6 units, right?
Yep.
That won't be that hard to study.
What?
That won't be that hard to study.
Good.
Right?
Good.
Good.
Everybody have your review out? Okay, we will start correcting it. So, yeah. 3.1 is that you needed to identify each pronoun and then tell its person, number, and gender. So when we say person, we are referring to first person, second person, third person. When we say number, we're referring to singular or plural. And when we say gender, we're talking about masculine or feminine or neuter. And it is only for third person singular pronouns that they get assigned a gender. Okay? Number 1, I is first person singular. Number 2, she is third person singular feminine. Number 3, you is second person. It can be singular or plural.
Oh, wait.
Because in that sentence you didn't know.
Oh, wait, so you're supposed to write masculine or feminine?
Only in third person singular, the third person singular pronouns.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was neuter, like, I don't know.
Okay, number 4, they is third person plural.
Miss Sarah?
Yeah.
For number 3, if we just wrote you second person singular, would that work, or do we need to add the or plural?
For number 1, second is she, third person, singular female. 3 is you, second
Okay,
person.
I'm going to correct you for a second, Marisol. It's not female, male. It's feminine, masculine. Okay? I'll mark female, male wrong on the test. Or boy, girl, I'll mark it wrong. Feminine or masculine. Okay? You should put or plural, Logan, because in that case, in that sentence, you should take a foreign language course. We don't know. It's not clear if it's talking to one person or if it's talking to a group of people. So if you're not sure, then you should put both. But if you can identify an antecedent and know that it's singular or plural, then you can put singular or plural. Okay? Okay, so for 3.2, you had to choose the correct subject pronoun to complete each sentence. So remember, the subject pronouns are I, you, she, he, it, we, you, and they. Those are subject pronouns, and they're used when the pronoun is the subject of the sentence, which is for the beginning of the sentence, before the verb, doing the action, or they're used as a subject complement, which follows a linking verb and renames the subject, okay? So number 5 should be I, 6, they, and you guys can just be writing in your right answers. It's not for points because this is for you to study. 7 is they, identify the underlined pronoun in each sentence as a direct object, an indirect object, or an object of a preposition. So object pronouns are me, you, him, her, it, us, you, and them. Okay, so those are object pronouns. Remember, they can be a direct object, which is follows an action verb and after subject verb, what? That's your direct object. The action is happening to the direct object. It can be an indirect object, which answers to whom or for whom after you find the direct object. And it has to be in between the verb and the direct object. And an object of a preposition ends a prepositional phrase. Okay? So, number 9 is an object of a preposition. 10, object of a preposition.
Why is so loud?
11, direct object. 12, indirect object. 13, direct object.
Wait, what was 9 and 10?
9 and 10 are both objects of preposition. Okay? Okay, 14 through 16. Choose the correct pronoun to complete the sentence and identify the word to which the pronoun is being compared. Okay, so remember this is after than or as. And after than or as, you have to mentally put in the words that are being said. And if the pronoun is like the subject, then you use a subject pronoun. If the pronoun is an object, so if the subject is doing something, then you use a subject pronoun. If having something happen to it, then it's an object pronoun. Okay, so 14 should be she, and she is being compared to Jim. You should have she and Jim written down. 15 should be it, and it's being compared to class. So it and class. 16 should be she, and being compared to Ms. Ramos. So she and Ms. Ramos. Repeats? Anyone? Jameson, can you stop doing that? Okay. 3.5, it says rewrite the sentences and replace each possessive adjective and noun with the correct possessive pronoun. So, one thing that I noticed on the worksheets you did, it seemed like people might have been confusing possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives. So, possessive pronouns stand alone, okay? Mine is sitting on the table, okay? Possessive adjectives have to describe a noun, so they have a noun following it. My lemonade is sitting on the table, okay? So possessive adjective has a noun following it because it's describing a noun. Possessive pronoun stands all by itself. It won't have a noun following it, okay? So number 17 would be mine is in the car, so you're changing my Chumbawamba CD and you're turning it into mine. Okay, 18, we switched and he gave me his, so his is replacing his Joni Mitchell CD. Okay. 19, ours has more than 1,000 titles. So ours is replacing our CD collection. And 20, we went to our friend's house to see theirs. So theirs is replacing their collections. questions with that? Okay, and then 3.6 is intensive and reflexive pronouns. Remember, they end with self, both intensive and reflexive. Intensive is really emphasizing. You don't really need it in a sentence in order for the sentence to be clear. You're just emphasizing something. Usually it follows right after, but not always. And reflexive, you need it in a sentence in order for it to be clear. Okay? So 21, reflexive and we is the antecedent. 22, intensive and mother is the antecedent. 23, reflexive and I is the antecedent. And 24, intensive and you is the antecedent. Okay? Anybody need anything repeated? Does anybody want me to review anything? Leah?
If you know, like 3.3, object of preposition, and like just telling what it is, like direct object or indirect object.
Okay, yeah. So I think you kind of have to go through the process. I'm going to move this. So it is a little low on battery, though. Oh, whoopsie. Okay. Do you care? Are you guys okay with having this here? Yeah. Brayden?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Okay. So remember those formulas, basically, just like you do in math. Okay. So direct object receives the action of the verb. A direct object receives the action of the verb. So I'm going to try to use the same sentence. Actually, I'm going to do two sentences here.
I like their Mickey's.
Okay, this is a pretty simple sentence, but if we are wanting to find the direct object, okay, so this is what, this is what, let's see. Okay, this is what I would do every time you come across these. I would first look to see if your pronoun is a direct object. Okay, I would do this for every single one, unless you just really know it, okay? So first check to see if your pronoun is a direct object. So how do you find the direct object? You find the subject, then you find the verb, and it has to be action. Then you ask who or what. And that equals your direct object. So let's actually not look at this one right now at all. She, so the subject is she. The verb is threw. Is it an action verb? Yes. She threw what? Did she throw him?
Yes.
No.
No, she didn't pick up him and throw him.
Yes.
Throw him. What did she throw?
Ball.
The ball. So that's your direct object. Okay. Let's go here actually. Well, let's go here. She threw what? it. It is your direct object. It's a pronoun. So then you would say it's the direct object. Okay. Let's go. So let's say that here, this isn't a pronoun, right? Ball isn't a pronoun. So we'd be like, okay, well, then my pronoun isn't a direct object. So I have to go to the next step, which is indirect object. So the formula for indirect object is to find subject, and then an action verb, and then the direct object. And since you've already found the direct object, you know what that is, right? Then ask to or for whom. And that equals your indirect object. The only trick is that this indirect object has to be over here, in between the verb and the direct object. Okay? So if I did this one, had this sentence, and let's say this is your underlined pronoun. Okay? She threw, I already figured out my direct object, it to whom? To him, right? Is this an indirect object?
No.
Why not?
It's not between the verb and the direct object.
Yeah, it's not in between here. So that wouldn't be an indirect object. What if, okay, this is my underlined pronoun. She, so you already know your direct object. She threw the ball to whom?
It.
To whom?
Him.
To him. Is this an indirect object?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's in between the verb and the direct object. So this is, and look, it's a pronoun. So, and it's my underlined pronoun. So then you'd say, okay, that one's an indirect object. If it's neither of those, chances are it's going to be an object of a preposition. So the way that you check that, so this one we said this wasn't an indirect object, right? So, does this end a prepositional phrase? Is to a preposition? Yep. And this is a pronoun, so it ends the prepositional phrase, so this is an object of a preposition. Same as here. This is an object of a preposition, right? Because she threw the ball to whom? To him.
Carol got him.
Sure. Does that help?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. Is there anything else you want me to review? Can do a little bit tomorrow too, probably, if you study tonight and you need more review.